This is Larry Henares, making your day with the seventh part of an article I wrote entitled Philippine History for Those Who Flunked the Subject. And we continue. Part 7, the title is The Catholic Church Unified Our Culture and Made Us a Nation. Continuing to quote again. When the Muslims were superseded, it was by the Spanish Empire in its least virulent form. The Spanish rule in the Philippines was without the genocidal features it brought to the Caribbean and the frightful exploitation it inflicted in Mexico and Peru in its gold quest. Actually, the Philippine rule was watered down to a point where it was akin to that of the French rule in Canada. Scarcely any rule at all. And what rule there was adjunct to the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church, as it did in Europe, grew heavy and oppressive with its own weight, particularly as landowners. But if it waxed fat on the produce of our land, because they could not marry and have heirs, they also created a Filipino priesthood. The paradox of power is that it must be delegated in order to be exercised. And the Catholic Church found out almost simultaneously with the Spanish crown that while it imposed a government, it also created a people. And that unless it was willing to embark on untold decades of guerrilla warfare, it could not govern without the people's consent. They could not kill us off, as they did the Caribbean Arawaks. They could not enslave us, as they did the Aztecs and the Incas. And they could not put us on reservations, as the Americans did the Indians, or enslave us like the Negroes. We were many, and they were too few. Just how helpless they are, we finally realized when they fell in a mock war with the United States. Mock because the Philippine people made it a mockery by fighting on the side of the invader. More about this after these messages. This is Larry Henares, making your day with part 7 of an article I wrote entitled Philippine History for Those Who Flunked the Subject. And part 7 is entitled The Church Culture Unified Our Culture and Made Us a Nation. It is said that the Spaniard is pitiless upon no man more than himself. The Spanish Inquisition, it is worth noting, was incorruptible. With tears in their eyes and righteous inquisitors of Torquemada begged the accused to recant. When they did it with heavy heart, they set God's bonfires. What the hell else could an upright man do but burn a body at the stake here on earth to save its owner the flames of hell for all eternity? Catholicism found fertile soil in the Philippines. Within 30 years, it was completely accepted, yea, largely embraced, eagerly, in most of Luzon and great many of the islands. The Catholic Church in the Spanish Empire simply imposed itself as a superstructure on society as it was then organized, consisting of myriads of barangays made up of a score to 100 families, presided by a chief with 3 classes of pecking orders, the whole governed by ancient customs steeped in religious mystique. Internal disputes were settled in tribal councils, and there were frequent clashes between barangays. There is nothing unusual about the pattern. In fact, it is all but universal. But the early tribal structure of the Malays remarkably parallels those of the Anglo-Saxon, including trials, ordeal, and combat. Catholicism did for the Philippines what Homer did for the Greeks. It unified their culture. Further, the Spanish government achieved for the Philippines what the Greek city-states never attained, a unified central government. This was a tremendous leap forward because the idea of a federal government was implanted, and at least domestically, as Pax Española existed for 3 centuries. Finally, the revolution over the centuries against central governments resulted in the emergence of a united nation. And that is our nation, the Philippines. This is Larry Henares making your day, saying good day, God bless you. Thank you very much for being with us. Till next time, hasta la bye-bye.